obviously us not to where what the expectations are. Like, what is the underlying problem? Like, what is the issue?
I think if I could know that and broadcast it effectively, I'd probably have a job at the club.
From your view.
It's really hard because now going into 23, 24 years following the club, it's getting really hard to understand why some of the worst aspects of the club's culture seem to transmit ownership hands, management hands, player hands. It seems after 2004, 2005, there has been a certain kind of fear that seems to exist within the muscle fiber of the organization. A fear in decision making, in spending money, in selling players, in stating your goals, in being accountable to anybody. That's a big problem with the club. And actually, maybe I'm backing into my point. I think as the club's ownership has changed into a single holder model, therefore the accountability structure is non-existent. The only way that people can express their displeasure is through their money. And it takes time for management to feel the effects of any boycott or some such sanction. So on one hand, you have, I think, an ownership model that just does not lead to any accountability. And in a culture where you haven't won for a while, there can't simply be a passive accountability that comes from not winning or not being in the Champions League or not being mentioned as one of the big six anymore. If you don't feel like that from the leadership standpoint, there's no fan displeasure that's going to make players want to act or behave in a way that's consistent with it mattering to them or them feeling a sense of accountability. It goes back to the conversation we were having about Chelsea managers. At least they know they're on the line. At least they know that there's a level that you have to meet. And you know what? Maybe Abramovich likes a certain style of play, but he likes winning more. And at least that's clear. And we don't have that. And we haven't had that for generations now. So it almost makes player acquisition irrelevant. It almost makes your academy irrelevant. It makes so many of the things that you do relevant. And frankly, it becomes boring. And that's not where you want to be when you're running a multi-billion-dollar organization and value. And here's my last point, is talking about the value of an organization is very different than talking about the dollars and cents and the turnover and the profit that they do. And by those numbers, none of these organizations are great businesses. And very few of them are actually run well and like a business. And that used to be the argument for Arsenal. Well, we're spending what we make and we're doing all this and that. And they had the greatest adherence to this argument because it was a sound argument and it was a meaningful argument. And then if you wove that in with a certain playing style and a certain ethos in the club, man, it's kind of attractive and you could feel good about it. Now what? For what? To be looking at West Ham and jealous of fucking David Moyes? Get out of here. No. It's moribund is what it is. It's moribund. It doesn't matter who we get. Frankly, I think we should get relegated because that would be one of the quickest ways to make the money argument, because that's the only thing that KFC is going to respond to is the money argument, because again, they're not shamed by being not top four. They're not shamed by being not top six. Look, it's just like in a political environment, when you lose all structure for accountability and when people stop feeling shame, that's when anything is possible, including the worst possibility.